However, hey everyone,
Can't coax her
um,
in with the treat.
can't. Well, the treats are downstairs. The treats are downstairs. That's the and you right. You know the Tobin. That's a good point. I could probably bring up the treats to coax her over here. She knows I'm talking about her. She's looking at me right now. Hey, I don't know what day of the apocalypse is this. I've lost count. Do we start? Do we start the apocalypse? The official, if we're going to start like naming years post-apocalypse, I would say probably in 2016 with Trump taking office. And now we're on day whatever of the apocalypse. Maybe we fold it into two or three apocalypsi. I don't know if that's the proper plural of apocalypse, but hey, Big Zebra, Tobin, Ken Bin Pham, KBF, the Epic Band, and Cindy Plaza. So, all right, how's everyone doing this morning?
Angry?
I would say that I'm not
Yeah,
only
that story. Yeah,
yeah, I'm sorry, Tobin. Go ahead, man. I'm just like all messed up this morning.
yeah. You got my wheels turning with the stories that you're talking about,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the events that are happening.
yeah, yeah. That was what I woke up to. I woke up hungover and and um, and I saw that story, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, I mean, we all knew it was probably going to be coming down the road, um, but yeah, it's still surprising, disturbing, unsettling. I don't even think there's enough words in the thesaurus to really express the feels.
There's something that I've been hearing in the last week from from American media, and it sounds quite. First, it's very interesting, but it sounds almost prophetic because if you look at Europe, we have some very old countries,
Mm,
and in 58 we tried to create some kind of European identity,
yeah,
and that works among the younger generations, but it's still we are still our own. I'm French, people are Spanish, and they don't say they are European.
correct.
And it looks like with this decision and the way it's written, it looks like everything that's federal is going to be downplayed to the state level. And if that goes long enough, then you will lose the American identity and you will go down to state identity.
Mm,
It's an interesting thing that before the Civil War, people did say that they were from their state, right?
yeah.
So, you know, where am I from? I'm from Massachusetts, right? Or people would say I'm from, Virginia, for example. Virginians also have had an attitude, by the way, but I'm not here to start to talk smack about
Mm.
Virginia. Um,
That can be
but
on the after show.
that could be in the after show. That's right. And also, what was an interesting historical note is that the states, the United States of America, was always in plural before the Civil War.
Mm.
So it would be used like a plural noun. But after the Civil War, it was used as as in representing a single person, a single entity, the United States of America. And Cindy, I'm going to say even something darker than that,
Mm.
right? And I'm sure they're going to be all be surprised at my apocalyptic um, view on things. Is that Republicans, fascists, they only talk about federalism to meet their ends, right? So right now, their ends is to disrupt, to overthrow Roe versus Wade and bring things back to the states. But let's not fool ourselves about what their goals are. Their goals are to put us under the yoke. Their goals are to put us under their thumb, to under his eye, to go all handmaiden's tale. So they're only talking about states' rights so that at some point they would go, it would be like a cycle, federalism
Mm.
right now, a federal guarantee of a woman's right to choose devolves into states' rights will, at some point go, if they obtain power, then they would want to make sure that women, even in blue states, wouldn't have access
I
to.
wanted to broach. Oh, I'm sorry, Andy. But I wanted to broach a controversial subject or an idea.
Okay.
You see, Roe versus Wade, the ruling came in 1973, which was 49 years ago.
Yep.
And it looks like, as of maybe in 50 years, for it to be overturned. Now, in 1973, Americans wouldn't have said, if Roe versus Wade doesn't come into effect, I'm leaving the country.
Mm.
But after 50 years of Roe versus Wade, to have your rights curtailed in an obvious way that's really unhealthy for society,
Oh yeah.
it's no different than maybe Americans need to immigrate and vote with their feet, in the same way that if you were a Jew in Germany, you wanted to get out of the country early on. If you're an Italian and believed in just human rights, and you see the fascist government rising, maybe you want to move to France. I don't know.
I'll say
maybe
this.
it's time to leave.
And I agree. I gotcha, girl. I see you in the back room. I don't see you moving. It might just be a screenshot, and you're just going to porn bomb us. And so, this is the rule, basically, right? I catch a girl. So you do seem to be a real person. I catch a girl. Do you know anyone here? We can start communicating with people in the side chat, because we have to vet people to come on the channel, because we've had people porn bomb us before.
Yeah, I vote for that. Remember what happened to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
if you are and the rule has been, if anyone can vouch for you on the panel or in the comments who we know that are part of the community, then you can come on. If part of the community, if you're here often and engage in chat or on Twitter or on Facebook or on other social media, then we let you in. But we've been burned a bunch of times. Cindy Plaza has been burned with people. And so we have to be kind of conservative. And I'm sorry about that. Should I apologize? I don't know, because it's a dark world. And for some reason, I want to keep my channel up and running. If this is the secondary channel, I want to keep it up and running.
So I really want to know, Dr. Hall, Dr. Kennard, is it time for Americans to either fight to keep their country liberal, or to say, maybe it's time to move to Canada, assuming that you can immigrate?
Well,
I actually sit on the other opposite side.
Where are you at, Tillman?
Yeah, it's like we should stay here and fight. If we don't, then we're gonna have a breeding ground for it, where people are just going to like perpetuate these issues. And if everybody just starts doing like a mass exodus that doesn't agree with this stuff, then you have a breeding ground, and it's just going to keep on perpetuating. And it'll get worse and darker. I mean, there's going to have to be a point to where we stand up and fight, or, take this very seriously, to where we're out here and we're doing what we can to vote. Wow, that's weird.
So what is
trying
the
to do it. It's
tipping
like
point?
a helicopter. Wait.
I'm not sure this will happen anyway. Sorry, Tobin, go ahead. Yeah, I'm not sure this exodus will happen anyway, because the exact same discussion when 45 was elected. A lot of people said, if he's elected, I will leave the country, and that didn't happen. Of course, this is different because it directly affects half of the population. But like I was talking about this earlier, the American identity is still very strong, and I'm not sure even this will be enough to cause an exodus. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm with Tobin on there. I think people should fight. I'm not sure, however, that people have the necessary weapons to be able to fight this, because Republicans have been setting this in motion for years. They've been putting people in place in all levels, state, federal levels, and Democrats know this and they haven't been able to do anything about it. So I'm not sure it's still a viable solution, fighting.
What would be the next thing that would happen, like on the Republican wish list, in order to make you think that you can't save America and it's time to leave? Like abortion is one of the biggest issues, but are there other rights that they can take away that would trigger an American wanting to immigrate? Hello?
Yeah, this this text that has been leaked says that it's most likely going to go to ban all medical care and I can't find the word. Anything that could prevent any pregnancy. Yes. All this is most likely going to be removed by the same decision, or it will be caused by this decision. So, but even this, I don't know if people think they can change this in the US, because the people that will be the most affected are the ones who almost already don't have a voice and will probably no longer have a voice because of gerrymandering, because of voter suppression. And if Trump is elected or DeSantis is elected in 2024, I don't think any of this can be solved. But again, I hope I'm wrong.
Tobin, you're an American. If you felt that, for example, it's something that goes on now, is that if you're white, you don't wait long in the polls. But if you live in a black neighborhood, there are very few polling stations, and you end up waiting for 10 hours just to vote.
Yeah.
Is that, like, at what point do you say democracy can't recover? Sorry, I find this question very interesting, but if you guys want to drop it, by all means. Like, what would make you leave your country? Not that there are any guarantees of that. You might want to immigrate to Mexico, Australia, Canada, or Europe. That doesn't mean they're going to admit you, but let's just say it was an option.
Well, I can say now that I've had this conversation with my ex-wife and with my kid about going to college, about where they are going to go to college. And I have taken what I think a variety of shit fits about just the thought about sending my kid to a red state. You know, I have taken like fits basically, like, and I've been I've been on those drums that beating the drums for years about, you know, we're not sending, you know, I mean, if my kid decides to choose to do that, then that's one thing, but I am not going to say, oh, it's okay to go to a Catholic university. It's okay to go to a red state for school. You know, I don't think those places I don't think they're good. I don't think they're safe. And and it came up again, even about a summer program. And I'm like, no, why would you want to send, you know, a 17-year-old girl down into a red state for a summer program? You know, I don't think that's, you know, a wise choice. Yeah. So my computer crashed. This is the first time it crashed. I don't know what happened. but that's why I disappeared.
You recovered quite quickly, though. You weren't gone very long.
No, it's a good computer that I have, and like I said, this is the first. And my tech support staff, my girlfriend is not here either, so she can't help me. She's in a conference somewhere. So
Uh-oh.
I know. Uh-oh is right. So we're gonna hopefully it won't crash again. Everyone, fingers crossed.
Yeah, to answer Big Zebra's question, it's hard to say if there is a tipping point, because democracy is a process. There are several things that are allowed, and it's the same thing that happened in Germany. At what point did people realize that they were that democracy were taken away? You don't realize it because it goes step by step, and no step, and they probably make sure of that no step is too big to cause a reaction.
Yeah. There's definitely okay. So I'll just be honest. I'll tell you what I know, because whenever I start thinking about a complicated issue, I like to start with basic principles, right? What Marcus Aurelius coming up in conversation again. You start off with basic principles, right? So for me, this is what I know. I know that I am already working to get my passport, right? This is stuff that I had to send out some information to get an original copy of my birth certificate to get a passport. So,
Holy crap! That's weird.
So, yeah, I know. So I'm actively seeking to get a passport, because what I don't want is to be in that scene in the Handmaid's Tale, right?
Mhm.
When protesting in Boston, and the jet fighters sweep over, and the Proud Boys, well, not the Proud Boys, but basically the SA are basically, taking over. The Stormtroopers are taking over. So, yeah, I don't want to be in that situation.
If suppose the next presidential election, alternate groups of electors change votes from Democratic to Republican, and so Republicans have instituted fascism. If that happens, is it time to start killing people?
Whoa, you can't not say those words on YouTube, I don't think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it time to take the sort of extreme actions that may be regarded as a revolution against a pseudo-democratic government?
Yeah, these are good questions. So what I have heard, and when you look at Extinction Rebellion in terms of there's a local researcher here in the Boston area that has looked at violent versus non-violent actions, right? And how they influence major policy decisions. And it turns out that non-violent movements have a better chance of succeeding in attaining their goals than violent ones. And I wish I knew. I had the research at hand, but I've heard this research cited by more than one source that typically non-violent movements have a better chance of succeeding for a variety of different reasons.
Really?
And yes, and believe it or not, you only need 3% of the population. This is according to the research. 3% of the population to be fully involved in the movement to create change. And that's not 3% hangers-on, 3% milquetoast people, but 3% of any population who are really invested in the change in the movement to create, to shift things. Yeah.
3%. Can you tell me more about this? Can you say who the researcher is?
It's someone over at, I want to say it's someone over at BC or BU. If you want to talk amongst yourselves, I'll do a quick Google search.
Sure. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
The Cindy Plaza, I want to talk to you about your cat porn bombing us. There was some.
Yeah, I saw your message. Well,
Even
at
your
least she's got my permission, as
Right.
opposed to the others. But and I don't think you can call it a porn bomb when I was the one who grabbed her and showed her to the camera.
Yeah,
It's,
but, you know,
it wasn't really. She didn't do that willingly. So
mm.
I do have the information because it's
Thank
one
you,
of the easiest things. This is from the Harvard Gazette from 2019, so it's relatively new, I think, information. The name of the researcher is Erica Chenoweth, Chenoweth. Discovers it is more successful in affecting change than violent campaigns. So nonviolent. The name of the article is "Nonviolent Resistance Proves Potent Weapon." Once again, it's nonviolent resistant proves potent weapon, and like I said, I think she's in the Boston area right now. She might be over at Harvard. I'm not sure.
Harvard
yeah,
Kennedy.
she's professor at Harvard. Yeah.
Okay. So, and she wrote a book, Why Civil Resistance Works, the Strategic Logic of Nonviolent Conflict. That I have not read the book. I've only heard people talk about it. And, but these are from good sources too. So it's definitely worth a gander at. So yeah, it does seem counterintuitive that nonviolent movements are more effective than violent ones, but there does seem to be evidence doing that. Okay, so Marion has been really, really, really patient with us. So
You could talk me. Oh,
what I'm going to do is close the show early so that we
Mhm.
can talk to Marion in the after party, after show. So we can have a better vibe on what Marion's all about. So this will not jeopardize my channel. And that hopefully, I see Cindy's like smiling. It's like, I don't know, Andy, because there have been incidences here on the channel before about weird stuff. But I'm going to close the show off. And then I'm still going to keep this window open. I won't be streaming to the channel, but we'll still have a chance to meet with Marion, like I said, in the after party. I hope that makes sense to everyone. We're doing the same crazy thing tomorrow, everyone. So take care. And Marion, we'll touch base with you in a second and let you in the show. Or let me let you in the after.